What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic, and today, as usual, we're gonna continue the book by Cicero on the ideal orator. It's gonna be the 16th part of the second book, so let's get started. The same goes then, said Antonius, for the other matters that must often be handled with oratorical skill, and which actually belong to the orator, as I claimed when I was praising eloquence a little while ago. They do not have a place anywhere when we divide our subject into parts, nor their own specific type of percept, and yet they must be handled with no less oratorical skill than the matters brought forward in a court case. I'm talking about rebuke, exhortation, and consolation. Each and every one of these requires a highly distinguished treatment by the speaker, yet they do not need any precepts coming from theory. I absolutely agree, said Catullus. Tell me, moreover, continued Antonius, what sort of orator do you think one should be, and how accomplished in speaking in order to write history? To write as the Greeks have written, you must be an orator of consummate skill, replied Catullus. To write as our countrymen have requires no orator at all. It is enough not to be a liar. But I don't want you to look down on our writers, Antonius rejoined. So let me remind you that in the beginning the Greeks themselves also wrote, like our Cata, Pictor, and Piso. History was nothing more than the compilation of early chronicles, annals, and for the purpose of this matter and the preservation of the memory of public events, the chief priest, from the beginnings of Roman history down to the time when Publius Mucius Scaevola was chief priest, committed to writing all the events of each year, and displayed them on a white tablet and exhibited the tablet at his house, in order that the people might have the opportunity to learn about them. These are the records that even today are called the Annales Maximi. A similar type of writing was adopted by many, and they have left only memorials of dates, people, places, and events devoid of any distinction. In this way, just as the Greeks had their theoricides, Hellanicus, Acusilus, and numerous others, so we have their equivalents in our own Cata, Pictor, and Pisa, who have no idea by what means speech is given distinctions. Such things, after all, have only recently been introduced here, and who suppose that, provided with what they say is understood, the sole virtue of speaking is brevity. Crassus' friend, Callias Antipater, and an admirable man, lifted his head a bit higher and applied a richer tone of voice of history, while the rest did not deck out, but merely set out their subject matter. "You're right," said Catullus, "but even this Caelius himself did not set off his history with topographical variety, nor did he give polish to his work by the way he arranged his words, or by a smooth and steady movement of his language. Rather, being neither learned nor especially suited for speaking, he hewed his work into shape as best he could. Still, as you say, he outdid his predecessors." Alright, guys, we're done with another part, and we're going to continue tomorrow as usual. So thank you for joining me today on this video. See you tomorrow. Bye.